Okie dokie, let's see what you guys have got. Let's start from bottom up, from Lita. First question is, did you meet your goals from last week? Second question is, what are your new goals for this week? And the third question, if you didn't meet your goals last week, why?
Okay, I'm here. One moment.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, I'm just looking at my log here.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the homework assignments, I believe I submitted homework assignments, so I met that goal. I didn't watch as many videos of the late night sessions as I would have liked to, or maybe I didn't at all. I don't really remember. Um, Last week was a busy week for me. And so I did meet that goal. I did finish the book, reading the book. I met
Mm-hmm.
that goal, but I didn't do any trades last week.
Okay,
So I didn't make that goal.
not a problem.
So
Any more recordings?
not last week. I don't believe I watched any more recordings.
Okay, not in terms of you recording
Oh,
your own self.
no, I only did the one. I finally did the one, but I didn't do it again. I do
Okay,
need to practice that, yeah.
nice. So what are your new goals for this week then, please?
So it is to watch the videos of the night classes and then learn the technique of scaling. I haven't really been doing that, and I think even though I've mastered, you know, method 3, and I have a pretty good handle on method 2,
Mm-hmm.
I've never really scaled in.
Okay.
So I think that would make those two strategies or methods even better.
Okay.
So I want to take advantage of that if the opportunity, presents itself. And then I need to at least do another video because
All
I did
right.
see where there were holes in my um, um, in the reviewing the markets and the technical analysis.
Sounds good. Beautiful. Anything else, Louisa?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you. Okay, next, John. Actually, no need. Sorry.
I say, am I supposed to show something?
No.
Am I canceling this? What's going on here? Okay, so last week I met my goal of sticking to my new routine,
Mm-hmm.
and I entered into 8 trades. They were day trades, so that was more than I had planned, but it wasn't too much because you know most of them were closed within the day or 24 hours. Um, and so I pretty much accomplished my goals. Um, my goals this week are some of the things that I wish there are things that I recognized from last week that I'm going to make my goals for this week, and that is I'm going to refine my plan with regards to timing, especially with the 4-hour chart. So it was things that it was mistakes that I noticed that caused me losses because my timing was off. I wasn't I wasn't in front of the computer at the right time.
Hmm.
So I've got that kind of fixed. And then just kind of, like in talking with Jason, just be more meticulous with my trades. In that I think I got kind of lazy on some of the setups, and um, it hurt me. So I need to improve on the outcome of my trades, just being more meticulous and not getting lazy on the setups.
Gotcha. Talking about laziness, what causes laziness?
I well, I don't know if I can. I'm not sure if I'm defining laziness in general. I think the way I was using it was that I was taking for granted almost that, well, um, I can take some shortcuts,
Hmm.
and do this, and I got it. And the weird thing was that it's funny, when I was doing it, it seemed like I was doing it right,
Hmm.
and it wasn't until I went back and looked at it, and I was like, what was I thinking? Why did I
Hmm.
do that? Because then I saw it clearly later, like that's not right. I don't know why I
Hmm.
did that, and so I put those notes in my trade log. Um, they're pretty much the same as I just said right now, except I specifically had some other notes with regards to the trade itself. So I logged them in there, and I was just now looking at them actually and adding some stuff to it. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's just being accountable, and and knowing that being human is trying to find shortcuts, because I think humans are inherently lazy. We're going to take
Yes.
the escalator instead of the stairs, you
Yep.
know. So, but you have to remind yourself that there's a path to productivity. There's a path to success, and
Yes.
and once you realize that that path takes you to success, why would you not take that path every time? Why would you get off of it? And so that's kind of the accountability. It's you just need to stick to the plan, stick to the A B C D. Don't jump to Q.
Yeah.
And so
Say in the military, you have a mission that you have to accomplish, and then you diverged part of the mission. What happens? Say, if you're going to report and you disobeyed the order, part of the plan.
oh yeah, I mean obviously there's going to be repercussions.
Yeah. So in
I
this
mean,
particular
it
case,
depends on what it is. I mean,
mhm,
obviously, if it's something serious,
yes.
there could be loss of life. There could be all kinds of repercussions. I mean, it could be a domino effect if you don't, if you're derelict in
Hmm.
what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. In this particular case, how serious it is mainly your capital, right?
Hmm.
Um, not just with John, but the rest also of the group. What causes laziness? Because it's so easy for us to be lazy. When do we get lazy? When do we experience laziness?
Maybe getting burned
Uh,
out a little bit.
yeah, I was thinking for me, it's doing so much maybe the previous day, and then the next day you're just kind of out of it.
Gotcha. So that doesn't mean then laziness can be caused by two things. Can be caused by, so if you are out of it, you're tired. Would that be really laziness though?
I
If
mean, you
you're
can be
tired?
distracted too. You can be
Distraction?
distracted so that your distractions are in your mind
Hmm.
taking precedence, and so you're kind of like, well, I want to get to those things, and so I'm going to take shortcuts here so that I have more time to get to those things.
And what causes shortcuts? Like lack of
Maybe being
direction or so?
frustrated.
Well, the frustration is the end result of laziness,
Yeah,
right?
it's not. Yeah, I don't think frustration causes it. Frustration
Yeah.
happens from it.
Correct. So, but the thing is, what causes it? If we're going to go through the root cause of things, because sometimes when you work too hard, though, like say for example, I'll just take a training environment. Say you're training 3 times a day, 6 days a week, you get burnt out, then you need to have a rest. The question is that being lazy though by going to training nice and tired, or Now, in this particular case, if you are working into your trading, like you're trading because you're in a learning process, you're getting too tired, would that be also be really laziness? Maybe not, right? Because you're just tired and you're working on it. So laziness comes from comfort. You know, when you're too comfortable with something, this is where you get lazy because you're already way too comfortable. This is how, you know, when you profit, like you win 8 times in a row, then out of nowhere you think, oh, this is too easy. The euphoria comes in place. You're overconfident. So when you're overconfident, you're too comfortable within the scenario. You make shortcuts. You tend to you don't really do your trading checklist anymore because you just know that you know. You think that you do know, then you forget something, and then bam, you get hit, by the markets. Then out of nowhere, you're like, holy moly, why did I get hit? And I'm like, oh my god, why did I do this? Why did I? Then all of a sudden, self-awareness comes into play, and then the market gave you, put you back to your own place, to where you should belong, right? Because subconsciously, that's where the mind's going. It's a self-sabotaging mechanism too. You're getting successful, you're getting euphoric about it, getting too overconfident, getting too cocky, getting too arrogant, you're too comfortable, then you start being lazy, right? And all of a sudden, that is also part of what you call like fear of success, the self-sabotage. When that occurs, you're back to square one, and all of a sudden you got to work hard for it again. And it's part of the vicious cycle, because if you know that you have to work hard for it, you feel good about it. And now that you're making money, you feel consistent and you're winning consistently. It doesn't feel like you earn it because it's too easy. Hence, that's why we self-sabotage. That's why we get too comfortable. Right? That's why at a certain point, to be financially free, or to have the freedom, as well, retirees, people, they will always have that wishful thinking, man, I wish I shouldn't be working, or this and blah, blah, blah. And then they're not working anymore, they get lazy, then out of nowhere, they're like, where is my direction? Where am I going through this? Then they go back to work. They start to realize that being at work feels good about it, right? So the same in trading. Like in terms of being lazy, you just need to be aware. Everything's about self-awareness. Self-awareness on why you're doing a certain action, a certain thing. I don't know what thing would be, that act that you're trying to achieve. That if you're not doing it, then you just have to go through and say, hang on, who am I being at the moment? Oh, I'm being lazy. Why am I being lazy? Because it's just too easy. I feel way too comfortable. I'm waiting now, making shortcuts. What's the logical explanation part of that? Then no shortcuts. Don't be too comfortable. Then go back to your normal routine. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, trading is a job, right? The question is, how do you perform part of that job? Okay, cool. Anything else, John?
No, that's it.
Sweet, thank you. All right.
Ray, I got a question about that, though.
Go ahead.
So, what do you tell yourself to keep that from happening when you see it happening to yourself? Like, if I start getting lazy, like, what do I need to tell myself to keep that
It's
from
very
happening?
easy.
I know it's...
Yeah. The question, that's only one question you have to ask yourself. Who am I being right now? When I say right now, it's within that moment. It cannot be in the past, cannot be in the future, it has to be within that moment. And then, your brain will start to create reasoning. And then you have to go through and really deep and like, well, who am I really being at the moment? No, I'm being lazy. Okay, then you go to the next question. Why am I being lazy? And then all of a sudden, well, do you choose to be lazy? If you choose to be lazy, then keep going being lazy. But if you choose not to be lazy, then this is the normal logical explanation is to do something for you not being lazy. So then you need to ask yourself, am I being too comfortable? So it all depends on the answer of who you were within that moment. If you're being fearful, why are you being fearful? then part of that answer will be, well, I'm being fearful at the moment because I don't like to lose money. What will be the next logical explanation? Either you close all positions, or and you take full responsibility that if you leave your position, at least take some and then leave some, right? And then the other explanation will be fear of losing. Okay, if I put a stop, am I happy with that stop? And you say yes, then the fear will go away. It's a simple, actually, question. Who you were being within that moment. And if you're in the trade, now you're, say, for example, you made 100 pips. And then you go, who am I being at the moment? Oh, I'm being greedy because I want more. What would be the logical explanation? Close your position because you just want more. Now, but if you say is, who am I being at the moment? A person following my own trading plan. And is that why? Because the market is dictating that there's more room to go. Do I have to close my positions? No. What do I have to do? Add more positions. So that's, it's a very simple question, right? Questionnaire step by step until you find where you're happy or where you're going to be at within that moment.
Got it.
Right, cool. All right, your turn, Jason. What's your goal for next week? Did you meet your goal last week, by the way? If you didn't, why? And then what are your goals for next week?
No, I didn't because I was lazy too. So basically, same thing as John. So just this week is just to bring myself back in tune, so I can continue to be consistent. And so my goals are similar to last week's goals because it's really what I need to work on. So I figured I'd just focus on those again. And it's just the time discipline and then being meticulous. And then now it's like, organization also of my trades now. Because as I start to grow with your systems, so I get a little bit more, I don't know, sophisticated with my trades now. They're a little bit more complex, so I need to develop new ways to track those trades as well as I continue to grow. So it's just defining new ways of record keeping, I guess.
Yeah,
And,
the question you need to be careful with that as well. Like the word complex. I want to be more complex. Don't be complex. Simplify it. If what you're learning now is getting more complex, you need to simplify it. You cannot be more complex.
Okay.
Because if you're going to be more complex, you're going to be more in trouble. Then that means then now subconsciously you want things more to be more complex. Hence, if you look at your other part of your life, I bet you it's complex because you want things to be complex rather than to be simple, right?
Right.
So there's like what we're talking before, right? And also what we're talking pretty much a few months ago, what happened to you. You're making your things more complex. Everything that you created right now is based subconsciously because you choose to be more complex. Because if you want it more simple, you wouldn't have the situations or what you've had based in the past. Pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, because we choose to do the things subconsciously. We actually do things in order to create that. We manifest it.
So let me put that in this week's goals then, is to start making a more simplified plan.
Correct.
Yeah, so that'll be my goal for this week then.
Yeah. Nice. All right. I know Dean can't talk, so just type it in for us, please, Dean, in terms of what your goals are going to be for this week. That will be great. Then next I'll be passing it on to Anne. Your turn.
Well, hi guys. Yeah, last week I met all my goals. One of my goals had 3 goals to practice M1 and did more of the practicing during the live evening classes, which was really good. Attended the half-day webinar on the 5 simple ways to profit consistently from trading, and what I learned from that is that I'm actually at there's 5 levels, and it's a good recap for me, and I'm actually at the level 4.5, so there's still 50% there to go to the level 5. The last one was to do a brain game activity from the National Geographic site, and I did 3 episodes on that, and it's quite interesting actually. It's quite fun, so I'm going to continue with that this week as well. Okay, so this week's goals are, first is last week CMC markets had a new layout, and I was actually a little bit frustrated. Also was lazy with my trading checklist. That my first goal of this week was to fix the Excel spreadsheet to work with the new CMC layout. Actually did that last night, so it's already done, and now I'm happy that I can see my figures, and I'm now back into my normal routine in completing my trading checklist. So I was a bit what's the word for it? I felt guilty that I didn't actually complete the trading checklist because I've been used to it, and now I haven't, and so now I'm back to normal again. Second goal is to revisit M2 and M3 tutorials from the ESTE site, and the action for that is to allocate about 1 to 2 hours to view the tutorials, and then the third one will be do the brain activity again, because that's quite fun, and there's I think 12 in total, and just do an hour a day or an hour a week to have that completed.
All right, cool. No worries. Looks like 3 out of 5 people are being lazy for this whole week or last week. Interesting. In terms of behavior. Then that means, one, you're doing something right and you just made it, you just lost track. So cool. The other also portion is always remember why you're trading. So why are we trading anyway?
To make money.
To buy cars.
Yeah, to make money. So
Take
you're
vacations.
exactly. So the money should be your motivator, and part of that, if your money is a motivator, it shouldn't make you be lazy. Okay. Hence, you need to love money. Okay. Because if you love money, they will motivate you to have more. Is money good or is it money bad?
Oh, I love money.
Yeah, you need to love money. So if you think that money is bad, then you have a limiting belief. It's gonna be a challenge, okay? Because with money you can do a lot of things with it. Who's here have experience not to have anything at all, not have money, and all of a sudden, like, pretty much you don't know what to do next? If you experience that, then always go back to the same experience where, oh man, I don't want to have that feeling in it any longer. That's when it motivates you to part of your passion and desire to keep actually going. Okay, sweet. Any questions for me? Actually, it's pretty cool today. Pretty good. Oh, if you accomplish your goals, everything pretty much, I want you to go to the next level and make it a little bit harder for yourself in terms of a goal setting. I know, like, everything, all the process, from what I can hear, is everything is through the processing. There's no one person in there that has actually stated that your goal is to make X amount of pips. Especially if you are, like, say, UN and Jason, you need to keep going now through, you need the monetary aspect. Like, how much are you gonna make this week, okay, or this month? But mainly for this week, you need to put either a pip value or a dollar value, and how you're gonna accomplish that. Right?
Ray, I got a quick question. How do we know it's real, like something that's attainable?
Based on your experience, based on your skill, and based on your results. So, you have an 80% success rate. In actual fact, that the reason why you're having success rate 80% is why you're being lazy, is because you know that, hey, I've got 80% success rate, man. I don't care. So yeah, you maintain that 80% success rate, but this time put in a real monetary value too.
Okay.
Not necessarily like a big amount, like more of a pip value, because everything's all relative, right?
Right. As far as dollar amount, right? So we're just looking for pip value then?
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds good. Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds good.
technically speaking, if you're doing the trade alerts and stuff, you should have gotten paid today, and part of that payment should be already your payday for the whole week. Do you really have to trade for the whole week? No. Do you have to do more for this week? No. So there's a lot of things that's part of your goal is also to do that. If you already accomplished, so you accomplished and it's only Tuesday, then create new goals by perhaps, I don't know, reading, going hiking, going skydiving, creating something that's fun as well, not just from trading. All right, sounds good. Then I'll see you guys in the next 4 minutes. I'll see you in the next class.